Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Suplex City, aka
Ooh wee! Hey, come on, man.
bringing you the latest news of what's going on in the WWE. Man, right now, man, I got my brother from another mother, Max, with me, man. Hey, Max, man, what's going on? How was your Thanksgiving, though, bruh?
It was good, man. It was good. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me on. Ready to talk some interesting wrestling news we got. What do we got today?
Hey, man, for today, ladies and gentlemen, we got a special edition, man. As you can see, I got my brother from another mother, and we're going to talk about the hottest topic of what's been going on in media right now, and that's Paige. So let me ask you this, man. Paige is returning. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many things I know you gotta say. There's so many things I gotta say, but I want to hear what you gotta say first, man, about Paige debut and the other females from SmackDown making their debut as well.
Oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about. It's so much to talk about. I don't even know where to begin. But first off, Paige, I'm so glad she's back. Some people said she was never going to return to WWE. They said she was never going to wrestle again. She was done after everything that she's been through. But I'm glad she made it back, man. You know, she put in the work. She's back. Everybody was excited to see her. I was excited to see her. I blew up. I don't know about you, but I was super pumped to see her. When her music hit, I was totally on fire. I think. It started off really good. You know, she came in, she was like, I'm back, and she's not alone. And I was like, oh man, what's about to happen? And then, she brings in her backup from NXT, Mandy Rose, and what's the other girl? Sonya Deville? Yeah, they come in, they clean house, and I think for me, at that point, I think they might have stole a little bit of the shine off Paige at that moment, but, and it seems kind of random that they came in, but I'm willing to give it a chance, I guess. We'll see what they do with it. I'm just happy Paige is back more than anything.
I totally agree with you because it's like all the things that Paige just went through. Her surgery, they brung that up. And then her relationship with Roberto Del Rio. Of course, they're not going to bring that up. We know that for a fact. Then, the sex scandal. You know what I'm saying? Now, with the New Day and the Usos having their rap battle, that was brought up there, you know what I'm saying? Just bringing out some hints, but Other than that, they never brung it up. But I do agree with you because, it's crazy because it's like nobody's really talking about Paige. They're just talking about what just happened between Raw and SmackDown. For me, I love it. I feel like this is kind of like the NWO for the female version. I just didn't like how SmackDown almost did the same thing. It wasn't more epic than Raw because we all know Paige. She's coming out. She did a promo, cut it well, made a huge pop. Far different from Ruby. Just came out, didn't really do a promo, just did a backstage segment. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like, okay, or whatnot. And then just attacking Natalya and Becky Lynch. I could see why they did it. They did it because Becky is going to be in Marine 5 or Marine 6 or 7 or whatnot. So they did it for a write-off to get her off air.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
For a Clash of the Champions is going to be Charlotte teaming up with Natalya and Naomi going against Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan. So
I didn't hear about it, but you made a good point, though. Hold on, if I may jump in for a minute. Like, you made a good point back then, saying about how everybody's talking about, like, nobody's talking about Paige coming back. Everybody's kind of talking about all these new people coming in. I feel like if I wanted to put my conspiracy theorist hat on, I kind of feel like maybe that was what they were going for, because Paige came back. She was super hot. She was super on fire. People were like totally behind her. Maybe they were kind of hesitant to give her a big singles push because after everything she'd been through, maybe they didn't want to reward her with like a big singles run because maybe that would kind of send a bad message backstage, like, oh, well, all I got to do is wild out for a couple of months and then I'll get a big push. So maybe they were kind of like, I don't know, maybe they were trying to just cool off Paige a little bit and kind of distract a little bit from the fact that she's back. I'm not sure. That's kind of my theory on it. Who knows?
I do agree with that because let's remember, Seth Rollins was almost in the same position, and
Right.
and they still kept on pushing him, but at the same time, he broke off with the Shield, so they still had to go with the Shield angle storyline. Now, this is different because this is Paige being out for a whole year and then her coming back. So, of course, I could see why. Because, we're all going to be like, hey, what happened to Paige last time? And it was nice and it was beautiful. The only thing that was a major surprise for me is that she's teaming up with Mandy Rose. And she had problems with her in Tough Enough. So to me, it's like, did they want it to be together and they like squashed their problems that they had backstage, or did creative staff came up to them and be like, hey, you two out there now?
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to bring that up. It would make sense for them to do it. You'd think they would. So I didn't watch Tough Enough. What happened to them on the show?
It was crazy because the female that won Tough Enough, Paige, was one of the judges, and she act like the female that won Tough Enough was more of a better athlete. Now the runner-up was Mandy Rose, and she felt like the only reason why she lasted that long because of her pretty face. Now, after Tough Enough ended, Mandy Rose got a contract with NXT Development, so she started training. And then on the same year when they did Total Divas, Mandy Rose was going to be in the roster, and she had to be trained by Paige, and Paige was not happy with that. And she had other problems with Eva Marie as well backstage. But, it's scripted, but at the same time, you could tell it's real, Well, Max, let me ask you this question, man. Were you happy with the booking and how both of them debuted? Or would you, do it differently?
For Paige, I think in a perfect world, I would probably just have her come back alone. I wanted to see her just come back, clean house, super kicking everybody, giving everybody the Paige turn. I wanted to see her give everybody the Rampage and just come back and like, hell yeah, Paige is back, statement made. Like, I think just her by herself, that would have made a really strong statement, and then would be so pumped. She would be on fire after that if she just came back on her own, cleaned house during that match. So that's what I would have wanted to see. But, and if they were kind of insistent on, bringing in a heel faction, I think we could do that on SmackDown. I mean, okay, I'm fine with that. I think Raw, I think having just Asuka and Paige there, I think that's enough of a shake-up for that show. SmackDown, I think the faction thing could work a little better on that one. So maybe, if I was doing the Raw booking, I would say, okay, just Paige by herself, nobody else. And then on SmackDown, I would probably bring up like the Iconic duo because they're more ready, I think, than any of the ones that they picked to come up. I would probably pick them, and I guess if they want somebody else, maybe they could do like Mandy Rose or I don't know. I would just pick them, and it doesn't really matter who they put with them. But I think that would be a good shakeup. But they ended up going with Ruby Riott is kind of the leader of that group. That's an interesting choice. What do you think she's like a fit leader for that team? Are you into it, or what do you think?
Honestly, from watching her from NXT, she didn't really cut that much promos. I feel like her character was still developing. Don't get me wrong, she's a well-gifted athlete. I feel like she's almost similar to Paige, but not quite there as experience and skilled. But she's a grippler. I see her more of a submissionist, but as her as a leader, I didn't see her grow in NXT. I just feel like she barely even reached her peak, and then she got called up. From the question I just asked you earlier, how would I book them? I would have never even booked her, because she's not even really there. And then I remember what you just said too, with the Iconic. Lovely. The Iconic and Paige, I would have booked them like that and it would have been lovely. Now for Ruby, I felt like she should have been under Nikki Cross. She could have been Nikki Cross apprentice. You know what I'm saying? Basically like, hey, I'm gonna follow you. And because Nikki Cross seemed more of a leader to me, that's my opinion. And I wouldn't even never even put Ruby and Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan together. I think that was just a bad combination from the get-go, from the start. But Ruby's not a leader. I can't see it in her, but I may be wrong. This is WWE. Anything can happen, so we'll be surprised, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm willing to give it a chance. We'll see where it goes. We'll see where they end up going with it. I'm open to it.
It's very surprising though, man, but I was just so shocked. To me, if I were to choose any one of them to be leader, it would have been Liv Morgan, because she got the promo, she got it with the crowd. And even though she turned heel or face, it still would have been good for her no matter what. So I was surprised they went with Ruby as the leader. And what was so crazy, bro? Because Ruby, they just did the NXT, tape show, the same place when it was in Takeover. It was Ruby going against Sonya Deville, and Ruby won, of course. But I didn't even like the match or anything. She didn't even cut a promo or anything like that, or it went hard. And then the craziest thing is, all 5 of those females that got called up never won the women's championship title. And even though if Asuka wasn't there, I still wouldn't even see them as champions. So
right. They didn't even give a whole lot of time on NXT, really. Like, I can't even remember the last time I saw Sonya Deville. I mean, she's been on there maybe like sporadically, like losing to people, maybe if they need somebody to, take a pin or something like that. Like, but she doesn't show up that much. And that Sarah Logan chick, I have never seen her ever. So, interesting choices.
She like, all of them showed up in the Mae Young Classic, but we can't even think of a good match they ever had.
Nope, I can't. But as far as the Raw side goes, like, how would you book that one?
For the Raw? I mean, for which one? Raw, SmackDown?
Raw.
The way I would have booked them, man, is just, I would have put the iconic in Paige, because one thing I want to say is their wrestling skills. Not only they're both good on the mic, let's put that on the side, because once you get the promo, you got it. But as far as the in-ring ability, they both are almost similar, even though that Peyton Royce and Billie Kay is from Australia and they have their own Australian wrestling style. And then Paige is from the UK, so she has her own style. It's very unique. They're both special artists, and if they would have collabed together, they would have made of the Shield. And it would have been 10 times better. Like, I can't think of any female group that would have took it to the level if they would have been together. Because Paige got that FU attitude. The Iconic got that same attitude as well, but more of a diva twist to it. So, and then they're both from out of America, so they both got that.
That international flavor, yeah. I feel
got that style, yeah. You know what I'm trying to say, but it will be very nice, and I know they're gonna put on 5-star matches. That's the thing too. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, it's like, how long is this gonna last? Because there is no women's championship tag team. There's only the women's championship. So without the tag team, groups don't last long. And there's only one women's championship title. So it's not like the Shield, where you could have the other two go against for the tag team title and the other person go for the United States or Intercontinental or something like that. You got 3 females that's going after one title. So they're all going to brag about being superior over one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so without a title, like, there's not a whole lot that a female faction can do. I just see what you mean there. But I wouldn't want them to bring in a title if they're not going to really commit to it, because it seems like, sometimes, like, I remember TNA back in the day, they tried out the Knockouts tag team title, and it was cool for a while, but it kind of seemed like it was hard for them to consistently stick with it. So I would want them to think long and hard before they did something like that. Like, are we going to commit to this? Is this going to be something that we are going to continue to feature long term? And if not, then I would probably say let's just think of something else. Let's just think of other storylines that we could put these girls in, because I kind of want to see a little bit more of that. Like, I feel like everybody is kind of just thrown into the title picture right now, and there's not really any division between like the upper card women or like the lower card women. Everybody's just kind of put in these 5-way, 6-way matches. I kind of want to see a little bit more individual feuds and storylines from that instead of a tag title, I think. But that's just me.
Yo, I totally agree with you because, you know, I heard like the main reason why these 5 females got caught up because Vince was really getting bored Vision in the main roster, so he wanted to shake it up by bringing these females up. That's what he said, but that's what, like, you know, the media said. But let's be real, we all know because of Paige. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because instead of just talking about Paige coming back, we're talking about these females coming back. But, and also I heard, you know, after the Mae Young Classic that since they were signing a couple of new female rosters, they were thinking about bringing back the tag team titles. You know what I'm saying? But then again, it's just like what you just said for the Knockouts division. Are they going to continue it? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't just bring this back and then forget about it the next day, you know? So, and, you know, one thing that kind of pissed me off that you just said, that there's not enough airtime. Raw is a 3-hour show. The only person that got airtime was Nia Jax. Because you had the female storyline doing their thing, and then Nia Jax is going against a jobber. But the storyline wasn't going nowhere with that. You know what I'm saying? They were making her look like the female version of Braun Strowman. But where was that going? And that's one thing I like about NXT. You see like 2 women matches. They give them more time. And SmackDown, I'm more disappointed because I feel like they should do 2 women matches if they call it the Land of Opportunities. Because every year it gets boring. WrestleMania, you just throw in every female in there, it gets boring. Like, Nikki Bella had her own time. Because if you notice at WrestleMania, this was actually, 3 female matches?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't think there's ever been that much.
No, I don't think so. I think that was definitely the most.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, certain, like, the Nikki thing was boring, but we all know she's Vince's favorite because, you know, she's dating John. So, and then, you know, the whole proposal thing, you know what I'm saying? But nobody ever gets airtime, bro.
Right, and the other 2 matches, the title matches, were all just the same exact thing. Like, just throw all the girls into one match, and then, like, there wasn't really any time taken into developing people's individual stories. I kind of wanted to see, I want to see more of that. Because, you like, if you remember back to when SmackDown Live first became a thing and the brand split first happened, it seemed like they were putting a lot more time into developing individual feuds and storylines. Like, you had, like, Carmella and Nikki Bella going at it. You had, like, Becky Lynch going at it with Alexa Bliss. And there was just multiple feuds going on at one time. And everybody wasn't kind of playing in the same ball pit, so to speak. There was just multiple stuff going on. Things were happening. People were telling stories. I think, you know, I wanted to see them get back to just telling more stories again. And, you know, but maybe this is all building to like a women's rumble or something, like, because, you know, everybody's kind of fighting for that one spot. Everybody's kind of all together. Maybe a rumble would make sense in this situation. So maybe that's what they're building to. You think?
Now, I heard they're going to bring females Royal Rumble. To tell you the truth, I don't think I know. Because if they already did the females Money in the Bank, and I also heard that's going to be in 2 brands. Raw and SmackDown are both going to host Money in the Bank also. I think for the Royal Rumble, yeah, that's going to be nice. And yeah, there's going to be a female version. And to tell you the truth, I see Paige winning that. But I understand why they don't want to give it to Paige. But I don't know. When I think of the female Royal Rumble, as of right now, Paige is the first person that pops into my head. What about you?
I would agree with that. I would think Paige or Asuka. It depends what they're going to do with Asuka. If Asuka takes the title off Alexa Bliss at the Royal Rumble or before it, then I would probably think Paige. If not, if Alexa Bliss is just going to hold the title the whole time, then I would probably think Asuka will win it. But if Paige wins the Rumble, So, what do you think would happen to her team? How long do you think that team's gonna last, or both of these teams on Raw and SmackDown?
Now, for the Paige, I feel like they're gonna last a little bit longer. They're gonna last all the way till Survivor Series. No, SummerSlam. The reason why, because Paige is more of a leader. I feel like their storyline could go more places, and their heels. The thing is, I got to see them fight. That's one thing too. Like, it's still early because it's still up in the air because I haven't even seen them fight or go against anybody. Now, for SmackDown, I don't see them lasting long. I'm gonna see them make their debut at Clash of the Champions when they go against Charlotte Flair, Natalya, and Naomi. So, but to tell you the truth, I feel like that match is going to be a good match. Natalya always wants to put on a 5-star match. Charlotte, same boat. Naomi, every female backstage says Naomi is the well-talented, gifted wrestler because she trains her ass off. And then they're going against these 3 females from NXT, you know what I'm saying? Sarah Logan, Ruby Riott, and Liv Morgan. I haven't seen that much matches of Sarah Logan. So, and the thing is, I don't even see them lasting long, you know what I'm saying? But if they put on a great match, who knows? That's the thing though, man, because we got to see their performances as well, you know? But I give them 2 months. Yeah, it's 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months. You got any ideas for like team names for these teams? Like, what are we gonna call them? What should their team names be? Raw and SmackDown.
That's a hard one, man, because for Paige team, I feel like it's gonna be something golf or evil. You know what I'm saying? Because that whole PCP thing was bad and it was a horrible thing. You know what I'm saying? She had before. Maybe they might not even go with a name. That's the thing too about this. If they go without a name for the next 3 weeks, they're not gonna last long. I feel like every group that comes out should automatically have a name. Like when Adam Cole came out with Undisputed, they already had the shirts made and boom and everything. Like the Shield, boom, made and everything. New Day, boom, made and everything. Even when Fandango and Fun Breeze got together with the Fashion Police, you know what I'm saying? They call themselves the Fandango, you know what I'm saying? If you already have a name, you're lasting long. If you don't have a name, you're nobody. You're just like, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
No, dude, you're totally right. I think that kind of shows that, like, I don't know if they have really long-term kind of plans for this. Because, yeah, dude, that's a good point. Undisputed Era, they came out, the shirts were out immediately. Okay, here's where you can buy our shirts at. We got a name, they had everything. They had logos, the Shield, it was all set up. You could tell they, like, thought about it beforehand. Like, all right, so this is what their name's going to be. This is what they're going to set it up. And it was all ready to go for this. So I think that's kind of a sign this probably isn't going to last very long. I think you're right. I totally agree. My name, I feel like, okay, so for me, if I was going to name them, all right, so how you go to the grocery store, you go to the cereal aisle, you got like the name brand cereal, you got like, okay, Fruit Loops, and then you got like the Kroger brand, like generic kind of knockoff. All right, so it'll be like Fruit Loops, and then the knockoff will be like Fruit Rigs. So like, I feel like this is the same type of thing. So Paige's group, we're going to call them Fruit Loops. We'll be writing them, and they're going to be Fruit Rings. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. They're a bunch of like knockoffs right now, man. It's really not looking good, man. But I feel like if Paige does not come out with a name soon, it's not gonna be good. But yo, I feel like they should go with that name. Might as well make the shirt.
Right, exactly. Because it's not gonna last long, and they're basically the same thing anyway. So I don't know. They're probably not worth the name. Either one.
I don't even know, man. That's just a hard one to pick off from, man. You feel me? Hey, man. So I don't want to get off topic here. You know what I'm saying? But let's say this: out of all 5 of them, who do you think will be released?
Of the debuting people?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So we got
last question of the day, ladies and gentlemen.
Who's going to be released? Oh man, I would probably say Liv Morgan. I don't really think she adds anything different. It seems like that she's.
Seriously?
I think so, dude. Because she's like, I don't know. I don't think she's adding anything different for me. She's kind of got like a Carmella type of. Unless she really changes up her look, I don't think she's gonna offer anything that stands out
All
enough
right.
to keep her on.
You're just saying that because of her gimmick, not because of her wrestling style.
I don't think her wrestling's that good either. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna keep her, man. What do you think? What is her saving? What is her redeemable qualities?
I mean, all right, her gimmick, yeah, she is knocking off from Carmella and Nikki. That's off rip once you see that. But her style is nice. But at the same time, I feel like her gimmick is her. I can't see her doing anything else differently. You know what I'm saying? But if it was up to me, I would have to say Sarah Logan. If she doesn't step, because Sonya Deville been getting pushed a little bit lately, Ruby Riott been getting pushed a little bit lately, and Liv Morgan be getting pushed. The only one that hasn't, she hasn't had that much airtime, and she did a terrible performance, I want to say, at the Mae Young Classic. She has, I know she could get up there, but she should have stayed in NXT more. But if anything happens, I feel like she might get released or walk out. You know what I'm saying? Out of all 5 of them, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree with that, actually. That's a good point. I think she probably has the least. Liv Morgan, at least she's like a blonde. You know, Vince likes blondes and stuff. So, I mean, she'll be safe. She'll be all right. With Sarah Logan, I agree with you. That's a good point. I can agree with that.
He's all about the blonde, man. So, man,
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's show, man. You know what I'm saying? You already know to hit that like, share, subscribe, man. Also, if you got an Android phone, man, download Wrestling Amino right now, man. You feel me? Hey, Max, before we sign off, man, any words you want to say to the fans out there, man?
Hey, well, thank you for having me on. Check me out, my channel. This is Max Wilder. Check me out. Hit me up on Wrestling Amino, Max Wilder. And thank you for having me on, Suplex. I had a good time.
Hey, man, you already know, man. And we know we always going to keep it too sweet.